Their senses tell them. I mean, I think that's what destroys children when you say, oh, your senses tell you that that water is level and stationary and contained, but no, we're spinning upside down in the space vacuum, right? You're frying their brains with this nonsense. But if you show them both, ask them what they think, let them figure it out. It's that simple.
If you can homeschool your children, because then you are directly responsible for the education that they are receiving, and I can't push that enough. But I'm also realistic, and I know not everybody can do that. So you need to encourage people to go be teachers who should be teachers, and not allow these wackadoodle socialists and communists that are in the schools pushing insane nonsense. Yeah.
Let me throw in here really quick, and David actually knows this as well as I do. I've lost count of how many classrooms I've had to deal with. I mean, classrooms from middle schools all the way up to major universities. They are addressing this. I mean, as much as everyone hates Behind the Curve, the documentary, it is now part of syllabus in many different schools. I've lost count. To where Dave, I think, you did 3 classrooms in a row?
Yeah, I did, most of you saw, I did 2 high school classes, and it didn't go that well, because when I was done, I didn't address each individual proof. You can show a globe indoctrinated kid, person, adult, whatever, 50 flat earth proofs, but if you don't answer the one that they had, like, the boat going over the horizon, or, whatever it was, then the earth is a globe to them. So I was after that, and all of the trolls going after it and calling up all the schools. I can't believe you let this flat earther talk to your kids. Another one of their schools called me, and I did another 2 classes. And this time I had the kids give the teacher their top proof that the earth is a globe. And I went through all of those. I had like 120 points to make in 44 minutes twice. And I literally steamrolled it. So I'm still waiting for the professor to give me permission to air it, but I've edited it to the point where I don't think he can complain that they've taken the kids out of it, because basically it's just me talking. But now, I said in that class several times, I said, you can't learn flat earth in 44 minutes when you're running to another class. And I told them if they wanted to have a separate Skype session with me, public or private, whatever they want, and a couple of them reached out. So they're like, I'm really torn, because they go into the class being told you're gonna have this radical guy that thinks the earth is flat on, and then when they're done, they're like, wait a minute, he made some good points. So we are getting through to the kids, and they're waking up. So.
I want to say this real quick. So I'm like really passionate about this. I've thought about it analytically the most I can. And what I think is the only way that you can feasibly change the actual education system in the public sense, or even the private schools that just follow suit, would be in the courtroom, right? So you would actually have to fundamentally challenge the curriculum, and I will say that's not easy. You can look into the case in Tennessee about evolution, and that didn't work out. So you can get it on the record and send in hundreds of pages of like evidence, empirical evidence, you can go at them with like fraud, US codes. But other than that, you just gotta take your children out of school. I mean, that's the only, I've thought of everything. The only way that they're gonna change the curriculum is if you force them to. So I mean, I tip my hat today for trying, but you're going up against the beast, bro. You're gonna have to beat them at their own game in their own court, or just pull them out. That's what I think the most effective way is just everyone coordinate, homeschool, work together, create local communities, use Dave's app. I want commission. And, just like communities that we homeschool together, and you trust the people that are around your children and what they teach them, and you teach them how to think, not what to think, and that's probably the best solution. I think that you should just let it go when it comes to the public education system.
And just to add, teach them young. Teach them before they go in the system. Because I taught my daughter as a 3-year-old, and she's like, oh my God, the ballers are so stupid. Even if she did go in the system, she sees. So if you teach them young, before they get really pulled into the indoctrination, then they're not going to take the program as easily. So you can at least do that aspect.
Yeah, I was gonna say that just to butt in a little bit, because that's why they want you to put your children in school so early, because those are the really important, most impressionable years. So if you can, at the very least, homeschool your children up until like junior high age, then you will have them. You will have them. And if they go into the system when they're young, then they end up on the other side, because that's the most important time. And most people don't even know, just to add, that in the United States, when you homeschool your child, you don't even have to establish your homeschool until your child is 7 years old. You know that? You don't even have to establish the school, and it is entirely up to you what you teach your child. So if you can do it, you should do it. And then when they get a little bit older, and you taught them everything, and as a homeschool child, they will be more mature, because they'll have talked to you, and you're not going to talk to them like an idiot. You're going to talk to them and teach them everything because you want them to succeed in the world, right? So then when they get older, and then they'll probably want to branch out and they'll want to go to high school and start socializing and doing all that. That will be okay, because you taught them correctly from the very beginning, and they were with you, and you instilled that in them. And that's why the state wants your children so quickly when they're young, because they can have them easier that way, right? So at least up until junior high, I would say, is the most important thing.
Right, well, I'm planning to do something next year. I'm planning to go on the campaign trail to be the leader of the UK. Part of my manifesto is about education. I want to get rid of the school, teacher, student model, right? And have centres of access. So a place where you can have a sum total, exposure to some total of human experience, and anybody of any age can go and find what they're interested in. So let's imagine there's a section over there for woodworking, yeah? And a child goes in there and like, oh, I like woodworking. He'd go over there and find other people who are into woodworking, and they would teach each other, okay? So it's finding your passion, finding what it is you're here to do, right? And the idea is that you do what it is you want to do until you've learned everything you've got to learn, and then you start your own business. And that business will be, well, the only stipulation will be 10% of what you produce you give to whoever can't afford it. And the point I'm trying to get to with everything I'm talking about is to get rid of money. Right? If you abolish mortgages and rents, because everybody has a right to somewhere to live. That's a human right. Why are we paying for it? Yeah? There's no other animals on earth who are paying to live somewhere. Badgers don't pay mortgages. Squirrels don't rent from the birds. Why are we paying? So if you get rid of mortgages and rents, and you get rid of taxes, don't you use taxes, yeah? Then your reliance on money disappears. So, and if you're doing what it is you're here to do, you're not doing a job anymore. You're doing something you do for nothing anyway. Does that make any sense? I hope that makes sense. Otherwise I'm not getting anywhere with this campaign.
Yeah? Any other questions? First of all,